Are we on, mate?
We on? Yeah, I think we're ready to get started. It's episode 3 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you been getting on, mate? Anyway.
Um, I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling really good. Thanks for asking. It's been quite transformational, to be honest. Dealing with the injury and accepting that I'm not going to be training for a long time. It's sunk in pretty quick. And yeah, I've just completely switched off from training and just thrown myself into coaching. It's been really good. Really good.
Have you Has there only been? I think of the words to say for this. Have you found that sort of like transition, and has anything helped you sort of come to terms with the training side and transition into the coaching?
It's like a death.
Yeah.
Just accepting it immediately. When I did it on a week on Saturday ago, I, I felt like a bit of a weight lifted off my shoulders, weirdly. It's like, right, I'm not going to be training for a long time. Forget about it. Can't control it. Just dealt with it straight away. And I weirdly don't even miss training one bit. Um, I'm enjoying coming in and just being around the guys and watching training, but I'm not missing it at all, even though I can't do it.
Mm.
And yeah, just accepted it.
Guess that kind of helps that because you've been still involved with the club and still coming down to sessions and stuff. Think do you reckon it would be different if you were sort of sat at home, kind of like ruminating and everything, and like changing your routine in that aspect rather than still coming down and whatnot?
Yeah, I think if you're injured, you should still come, no matter what sport you're doing. Or it's like if you have a job, you most likely, if you can go in, you go in.
Yeah.
Unless it's physical, and you physically have to stay off. But I think still coming in and keeping the mind active is good, and not ruminating and
Mm.
focusing on what you can't do. Like, oh, I can't train. I've just not had that mindset at all.
No,
Straight back in there.
I think it's quite a powerful thing you said as well at the start there with just accepting it. Like, because for a lot of people, like myself included, sometimes, well, it's that aspect of things and that aspect of change can be difficult, and it's quite empowering. Sort of once you get to the point where you can have that sort of power over your mindset of kind of going, no, this has happened. I'm just going to accept it. I'm not going to like ruminate over the ifs, buts, and the maybes. Like,
Yeah.
it's a matter of fact that this has happened, and I'm just got to move forward with it.
Yeah, I feel very lucky that it's only happened now. To be fair, I feel like I've been dodging bullets for a long time.
Yeah.
I've just thought, how have I not been injured? But now it's happened, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm having a rest from training. I feel 33 again, and not 53. My fingers, I can bend my fingers. My ears are not hurting. I can move my neck. I can walk down the stairs. There's a lot of positives than what I was already getting.
Yeah.
So yeah, feeling good, man. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Like I say, back in training from my time off from having an injury. Like I opened that on Sunday at Resilience for Zoe's place. It's like a charity one, and had it around with a bit of a heavier player, and I was on like his backing turtle, and an old habit kicked in of kind of like when someone rolls, no, like in here, I'll abandon it, especially if it's going to like involve like having to tuck my head up.
To roll with him.
Yeah,
So you're behind him.
yeah. I was in some sort of like crucifix style position, and he'd rolled over, and rather than kind of going and abandon this, just sort of like I just went with him, caught my head, and ended up getting the old pins and needles down my arm again, and I was like, fuck. Dissipated after about 40 seconds rolling, but like it proper knocked me in the round, and I was a bit like, right, I just started playing a lot more passive there, and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna fucking fight for this round. But no, mate, yeah. Other than that, everything was like really good. Like loving coaching at the moment, seeing just the progress from everybody. Like the atmosphere in the club is like really geared up for this comp at the moment. When they're getting in for training and pushing the pace and the tempo for the rounds, they're really enjoying it. And I'm really, really loving sort of like almost being a passenger or a spectator of their growth as like grapplers. And like I say, I'm sure you can attest for it yourself. It's sort of like it spurs me on to and like reaffirms that like I've made the right choice in sort of like going down this for like a career of I fucking love seeing the growth, and the more I see, the more it kind of like really fills and builds me up. And yeah, no, like everything's really good at the moment. Like I say, yeah.
So the neck's fully recovered now.
I wouldn't say it's fully recovered. It's like it's been a bit aching since Sunday, and I've just my training's reflected that this week. But I'm still sort of moving around, getting some light rounds in, and I'm just being extra cautious. So like, I think for me it was a good indication of okay, I'm not as recovered as I thought I was. So I just maybe need to be a bit more selective again of who I roll with, and if I'm not familiar with the person that I'm rolling with, like say open mats, I'm just playing a passive game, like not fighting for positions. But if I see something, I'm like still going to work, but also giving my training partner or whoever it is I'm rolling with plenty of space to work as well. So that it's not, hopefully, if they've got a fucking head on the shoulders, it's not going to instigate them kind of going, oh, fucking black belt I'm rolling with, I need to win. It's like, no, fucking read the room, read the passivity that I'm giving you, and have a playful round, have a working round. You don't have to treat an open mat like it's a fucking world championships. Like, as you know, and as you probably like see on all the Instagram posts about it, like most people turn up to open mats like they're fucking going to war, fucking shields and spears ready. Like, I need to prove myself to everyone that I've not trained with. It's like, well, no, some people are turning up because they want to catch up with old mates that they've not seen for a while at other gyms and have a play in a fucking nice Sunday morning roll.
Play with a new style.
Yeah.
Stranger. Different style around.
Yeah.
You're someone that trains. You train 6 days a week. You coaching 6 days a week.
Yeah, coaching 6 days a week. I like me. I would really prioritize my Sundays as being off. Because like growing up, ever since the day I turned fucking 12 or 13, I've worked every weekend or every kind of day that I could, like paper rounds. And then I turned 16. My dad was like, right, I'm managing a window cleaning. You're gonna come and work with me every weekend. And that was like from the day that I turned 16. So like, for those that aren't aware, my birthday's in September. So like year 11, every Saturday, Sunday, all my mates were out on the piss. I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, driving across fucking all over the northwest to go and clean fucking windows. But it kind of instilled a work ethic in me and kind of showed me as well that I can still fucking go out on the piss with my mates on a weekend and go to work on the next day. Like, it's not something that I do now because I don't enjoy fucking working hungover. But like, I think having those there kind of instilled in me that kind of work ethic. So like, and then when I had the ability to have my Sundays off and my Saturday afternoons off now, it's like I jumped at it because it's something that I've never had before, and it's something that I've always worked towards, having that relative freedom on the weekend.
Yeah. How are you going to manage like coming back from your injury? Are you going to spar every day, or are you going to move around for 6 days a week, or are you going to pull it back a bit?
Pull it back a little bit, and I'm quite selective over my training partners. So like, because every gym's got them, the one gear roller where they're just going to go 100 mile an hour, fucking every collar ties like a right hook. Every submission's going on fucking a little bit maybe faster than you want, and the clamp and the pressure they put on, it's not necessarily their fault because they may not understand the intensity that they're giving out, and it is a learning process. Like, it took me a couple of years to actually learn and figure out how to play and not be essentially a spaz all the time.
Which we're going to talk about soon.
Yeah, we're going to go a bit further into that. But yeah, so I'm just going to be very selective over my training partners. Typically, I'll be rolling with lighter bodies because not like I want to try and muscle out of positions or bad situations, but there's a relative difference in the amount of pressure they can put through you, as well as if they've got hold of something, there is a relative difference in the strength that they apply through it as well.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do it like a day on, day off, or 2 days on, day off?
So at the moment, I'm proactively not rolling on a Monday night, just because I know that they're the more intense nights at the club for everyone. And I think with my role as a coach at the moment, like, you need someone leading the room on those types of sessions, to kind of keep everyone engaged and watch over what's happening. So if you see someone's not working as hard as they could be, you can go over and give them that little bit of an encouragement to G them up a little bit. So I'm kind of proactively not rolling on the Mondays. But on those days, I will go and lift, do my rehab. And to be honest, when I can be asked, because at the moment I can't be asked doing cardio, but when I can be asked, I'll throw a little bit of cardio in there.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. I just get my cardio from doing rounds, don't I? And then, like, on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays, we have like the lunchtime sessions. So with those, like, they tend to be a bit more technical, and lighter rounds, and I'll get like technical rounds with those with the guys that turn up there. Wednesdays, it'll depend on the room, because we have like a 5 p.m. open mat.
Yeah.
It'll depend on who's in the room, and as well how I'm feeling that day. Like, so like today we're filming on a Wednesday. I woke up this morning, my neck's still a little bit stiff from Sunday, so I'm going to choose not to roll tonight.
Yeah.
But I will be going to lift. I will be getting other aspects of my training done, and then tomorrow I roll at lunchtime. And I'm just proactively being very aware of who's on the mat and
Just checking in before you put the green light on rolling.
yeah. And on top of that as well, like, I'm letting people know my neck's bad. And when I thought it was better than it was, I was saying I was going with the sort of the heavier players, and I was letting them know, got a bad neck, but play as normal, because if anything goes on my neck that I'm not happy with, I'll just tap, or I'll let you know, because I don't want them to change their game with me. I just want them to be aware of my injury, because at the same time, like, I still want them to develop their skill set and use their full toolkit. But just have that awareness of, okay, I can't go super heavy with the clubs, or I can't, like, or if we get onto, like I say, a DARS or some head and arm choke, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to tap very, very early.
You can do it real twatting.
Yeah, that's it. And then when I'm healthy, I'll be fucking right. I've got a bone to pick with you. But no, I'm sort of like phasing it in. I've got it's not a very structured way to do it, but I will go off how I'm feeling that week.
No experience, so I think you can do that kind of.
Yeah, and like, I know I don't work in the field that I studied in, because I did like sports injuries at uni, but I think having that knowledge under my belt as well has kind of given me a little bit more confidence in knowing the when and how to rehab and reintroduce myself back to sport. Doesn't make me an expert in injuries, it just makes me more of an expert in my own body and my own capabilities when it comes to like rehab and when I can return back to sport properly.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Glad you're back on the mat.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be on it. Like, one thing I will admit though is I am missing wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I am nervous about going back to like my first wrestling session and like having somebody hanging on my neck, and
Should just do the techniques and just not spar at all.
that's one thing that I think when this sort of like stiffness and everything else sort of like settles back down, I'm more likely going to jump in and start. Yeah, yeah, I'm more than likely going to jump back in and do some tech. But like, at the moment, like, I've got that little bit of anxiety about shooting in, and that apprehension about shooting in. So more than likely, my grappling style for standing up is going to change probably quite dramatically over the short term. And then once I feel ready, I'm going to fucking jump back on the horse and just make sure that I'm shooting in. Because I fucking love it. I enjoy that part of the game.
Maybe just do the technique for a few sessions and just get the neck back into it and not spar. And
yeah, I reckon that's probably the way that'll go around it. Like, I can't see myself. Yeah, this week, I say with this sort of stiffness, I'm just a bit like happy, because I shit myself when I felt the pins and needles again. I was like, oh, I just don't want surgery on my neck. But yeah, like, I reckon, I say, jumping on, getting the technique done again. Like, I think I just need to do that just to get over the apprehension a little bit of it as well.
Yeah, body condition for it again.
Yeah, it's got to be done. But we had a few sort of subjects we were going to cover for today. I think I say we spoke about it before, like the expectations as coaches, and sort of like on and off the mats. Like obviously we can't control people's lives anywhere anyway.
No,
Um,
definitely not.
but we sort of kind of like have certain expectations for like when you're in the room or when you're training sort of elsewhere as well. Like, and not necessarily being like, yo, you have to be fucking bowing to sensei and all that bollocks, because we don't do that in here. And I'm not going to fucking enforce any of that in here. Just kind of like what we speak about before with how you interact with less experienced players, how you interact with lighter players, and how well you represent yourself.
Yeah.
Outside of the club as well when you are sort of visiting other gyms. Because
you're representing the club, you're representing yourself.
And like
coaching the club when you go out to work.
Yeah, like I won't lie, like sort of saying that out loud and sort of hearing that kind of does make me a little bit like, like cringe a little bit.
It's the truth though, they are, you know.
Yeah.
If they're a dickhead somewhere else and they're from Hive, like it's not.
Oh, it's going to come back. It is going to come back to the club. Yeah. It's just I think the thought of like that representation kind of like still kind of getting used to it, even though the club's like 8 years old now. Just reminds me of like school a little bit, to be honest. Of you're on a school trip, you got to behave, you're representing the school, and I just feel a bit like I don't want to fucking sound like the high school teachers that I fucking can't stand, but it is the truth. Like you're representing yourself as well as the club when you are visiting other places, and I don't necessarily have like say promotions hanging on how good of a person you are, because if you've got the skill set, you're going to get the promotion.
Yeah.
But how you interact with others at the club and look after primarily your own training partners in your own room, and how you conduct yourself outside of the club will factor a little bit into it. Because if I'm honest, if you're a really good blue and you go into purple belt and you're a dick, I might wait a little bit of time to see if like you just sort of come around, get home, like just get a bit of humility there. I say if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You're still going to get the fucking promotion, but there might be like just there will be conversations if someone's acting like a dick.
Do you mean if they've got like a chip on the shoulder? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like sort of walking around kind of like you own the place and shit like that, and not being part of the community. Because I've worked hard to have a hard work ethic within the club, but also have that community aspect where it's coming to see your mates.
Yeah.
And if you're not like, if you just acting like a dick when like it's that kind of environment, might not be a right fit.
Or trying to injure training partners, trying to win every round. Is that what you mean? Like being disrespectful to the kind of environment. Yeah,
and just like not being conducive or productive, like an addition to like.
It's not very positive.
Yeah, like little things like fucking watching videos on your phone while teaching tech and like I'm not saying don't check your phone, because like if people have got families, they might need to check the messages and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. No, because like there are obviously like unless you've got like, because like say someone's got a kid and maybe the partner's needing a little bit of extra help and you kind of go in, I just need to make sure.
Of course,
like
you've got sometimes
you've got priorities in life, but like if you fucking checking your Instagram feed or you're checking the WhatsApp group messages because you're having a bit of banter before you turn up the session, like have that break away from your phone, like fuck it off to the side. Like what if you've got a business to run and like say you've got important phone calls and stuff, I'm not going to fucking stop you from checking it. But if you fucking sat there scrolling and you're not interacting with the class, and I'm maybe like, come on, mate, you're here for a reason. Like,
it doesn't really happen here though as well, does it? Really?
no,
I've noticed,
like,
which is good.
it's more like you get there's a it doesn't really happen. Like, and if it does sort of like happen, and more often than not, if someone gets a phone call during class, they come over and like, man, I'm like, mate, you've got a life to lead. Like, I'm not gonna fucking inhibit on that. But yeah, if it's sort of like self-scrolling, I don't know, going on a fucking tirade now about scrolling and that, but
I think it'd be good to maybe touch on like the bowing, like you brought up, like the respect kind of element of the sport, that's not really, very prevalent in no-gi, I would say. What's your thoughts on
that? Like for me, I think if the old traditions are for you, I'm not going to say don't do it.
Do you mean like bowing?
Bowing, stuff like I've seen like some clubs where you have to like bow to a picture of somebody on the wall, or bow before you get on the mats. Or
I'm on the wall up there.
That's it. Yeah, I'm fucking stood there like.
Check your fucking phone.
Yeah. I'm just looking. That's the quote underneath it. Get off your fucking phone. Be one of them pictures as well, where the eyes will follow you around the room as well. But yes. What was I saying?
About the bowing.
Oh, the bowing. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. Fucking brains fucking bouncing. But yeah, like it's not something that I like encourage or pressure onto people. Like if someone bows to get onto the mat, I'm not going to pull them on it and be like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Because if that's just what they're used to, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to enforce someone who's not doing that, saying, "Oh, you've got to bow to me, call me professor, call me sensei," not like, because that for me, that's putting me above them. And at the end of the day, like I look at everyone who comes in here as mates, and I want to treat them like that. And primarily, the difference between me and everybody else in the room is that I've been training longer, I'm leading the room, and I'm just coaching.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me a better person or any more of a person than they are, or more important than they are. It's just
made you a god.
I mean, well, some fucking black belts think they are fucking gods. Like, the fucking shit they think they can get away with. And that'll lead on to the next subject we're going into as well.
Yeah, I think that it should be brought in a little bit more. I'm not saying you should bow, or like you said, if you bow and you want to bow, fair enough, that's up to you. If you don't want to bow, that's fine. I'm not talking about specifically bowing. I'm on about the respect as a whole. When you walk into a gym or an environment, even if you're your own school, your own gym, and the class has started, I think you should show respect to the coach.
Yeah.
In just a basic and respectful way. You should take your slides off at the edge of the mat. You should be walking barefoot. I think you should make the effort to like not disrupt the class if you're a little bit late. And I think you should make that effort to go over to the coach and kind of introduce yourself to the coach and say hello. And if you are a bit late, so kind of jump on.
Yeah.
I think that is lost a little bit in no-gi. And I personally don't think it's going down the best route. It's a little bit too casual.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I'm 10 minutes late, I'll jump straight into tech. And I've been teaching classes for a bit now, and it's something I personally don't like. Like, I don't want you to fucking bow to me.
Yeah.
And like, pretend I'm some god. I'm obviously not. But just have some respect. With the class that, if we're doing isolation rounds after 15 minutes and you're fresh as fuck, don't jump on the mat and jump in there and start fucking beating people up.
Yeah.
Like, you're late. Wait till the next drill, or ask the coach, can I jump in?
Oh, 100%. And like, because I've been to quite a few like open mats and things like that where the sessions, like say the open mat's been after a already like long hard session.
Yeah.
And you get those that are turning up and they're sort of fresh and whatnot, and they're then trying to like put a pace on the ones that have already done an hour and a half or 2 hours of work already. And it's like, like, fucking give me a little bit of a break. They've already been working for 2 hours or 90 minutes, how long, like, if they want to have that kind of round, like, by all means. But, like, don't kind of go in there with a fucking mindset, oh, I'm going to fucking smash today, when you turned up after everyone's already been working for however long.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, with the lateness as well, I think on the Saturday morning sessions, or like when the sessions are, you don't have work beforehand and things like that, unless you've kind of got home obligations to do, say like kids, like you've got like work stuff to do beforehand. Turning up on time isn't that much of an ask. But then I do have a bit more leniency when it comes to say like midweek, where because we start at 6 p.m. Some people are coming straight from work, and if you're turning up 10-15 minutes late, I understand it. But then like everyone does always come through and they're like, oh, sorry, I'm late. So I'm like, just get yourself on, get yourself mixed in, and sort of just jump in. Don't make a big song and dance about it. Like, let me know that you're here. Because I'll always, like, if I see the door open, I'm always going to shout over and say hello to them. But yeah, like, don't make a big song and dance about coming in late. Just come in, let whoever's leading the room know, like, sorry, mate, man, to just jump in. And I have it as well where some people will turn up, like, say, 20 or 30 minutes early for the next class. And I'm always, like, I'll always say to them, jump on, get involved. Like, use this to warm up for the next class. And things, but also, like, don't take away training partners from the people that are already in the class. So if it is a even number, put yourself in a 3 rather than taking one of the bodies that was already paired up with somebody else, and just have that little bit of awareness there when, if you are like jumping on early or coming in a bit late, like if you're the odd number, like you're gonna have to put yourself in a 3 or maybe wait until the next drill, get yourself warmed up.
Don't come in and ask what we're doing, and then partners have then got to take their time and bandwidth to explain to you something they don't know.
Yeah.
And then you're getting the wrong information and disrupt your class.
That's it, yeah. It's like, it's kind of like almost kind of like turning up halfway through session and being like, oh, what technique are we working? Yeah. It's like, well, you've already been working on it for 20, 30 minutes. Like, just continue from the point we're at and try and take the lessons from there. Like, if you wanted to learn the full technique, try and get there a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Because like I'll always try and show like the key elements, but you're gonna get like 1, maybe 2 demos of me and a quick explanation, because I've already spent maybe 5 minutes already talking through what we're doing and giving a full in-depth like explanation of what we're looking at.
Yeah, there's pros and cons, isn't there? I mean, if you allow people to be late, it gives them the flexibility.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But also, like you said, if you've not got obligations, shouldn't really be turning up late. It's not a good habit. I think if you, for example, when I do the class on Saturdays at 9:30, some people let me know when they're late, like that's totally fine. But if you're not warm and you're solely relying on me warming you up at 9:29, and the class starts at 9:30, you know, some people they pull at the back or they pull a hamstring in the warm up, they're gone. You know, they're gone for 3 weeks. It's not our job to like hold your hand and be like, oh, this is how we're going to warm you up. This how, like, take responsibility for yourself as well. Come in early and get warm, get on the mat, practice some tech. When the session starts, you can hit the ground running. We don't have to baby or hold your hand. Don't turn up 10 minutes late and like jump into wrestling technique and say, oh, what am I doing? What grips am I doing? Because it's difficult to retract and go, okay, this is what I'm actually doing.
Yeah.
Because you're not warm as well. You know, your neck's not warm, your back's not warm. It's a lot more risk involved. Take it from me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because like that's fine the same with like, you know, sort of jumping in for like rounds sometimes around like a session, and like say you probably notice it as well. Like you feel more at risk of injury.
You are massively.
Yeah.
Massively. I mean, someone did it last week. They pulled the back in the warm up, and the warm ups are not hard. They're just a generic wrestling warm up. Sometimes I do warm ups, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get straight into tech, and they pulled the back, just doing sprawls. And it's because they're cold.
Yeah.
And they're late. They just turn up bang on time.
And
you've got to ask yourself, is overtime that going to be the best system for injuries, for you know, getting through training? No, it's not. Definitely not. You should be here 15 minutes before, I would say. so you can just do a couple of stretches, get ready in time, be comfortable to be ready to train.
Yeah.
You've got your water bottle. Yeah, don't come in bang on time and then the warm ups. Yeah, that pisses me off. When people get, if you're listening, don't get offended. Like Si said, if you're late and you've got a genuine excuse, you're laughing at me, going off on me. If you've got a genuine excuse, I can cop it, and you know it's life. Something's getting in the way. But if there's if you've come in and the warm up's going on, and you conveniently get ready while the warm up's going on, fuck off, mate. Like, fucking get here early. Oh, I've just conveniently fucking got to change and the warm up's over. Oh, I'll just walk on the mat and do tech. Like, that's the modern no-gi fucking person for me. It pisses me off.
I think, like, probably an old, like, it's the purple belt meme, innit? Like, it's the meme of the purple belt. It's like, you get your white to blues, like, the blue belt meme is, oh, when they're going to quit. Purple belt meme is like, oh, they're not going to do warm up. Then it goes, brown belt meme is like, oh, they're not going to do tech.
But I've never really had that because I've always been in solid gyms where they don't cop it. Like, and I don't think it should be copped.
No.
Yeah, I think if you're a coloured belt and you come in late purposely and miss the warm up, I think you're a dick. Straight up, like, it goes back to what we're saying about if you're a dick, you're a dick, no matter what belt you are.
Yeah.
Be respectful. Like, if someone's going to give you a black belt and you don't do the warm up and you're not being a part of the team and just being a positive, you know, person for the club, you're a dick. Like, be there early. You're not fucking special.
Yeah.
Just because you're a bit better at grappling.
No, like, and I think,
and it rubs off on the room.
Yeah.
If you're fucking really good and you're there early, you're stretching, you warm up, people see that and they copy you. A white belt goes, fucking hell, he's here early, or she's here early. That's what I need to do. All of a sudden, you've got everyone early, which means everyone gets better at grappling, doing more grappling. You know,
I think that ties in as well of like sort of habits and behaviours to sort of build within yourself and your training to then help further progress yourself. Like even down to how you interact with like other members or other like teammates. Because like they say it's an individual sport, but you can't fucking grapple on your own. Like the only way to get better is being part of a team. And how you treat your teammates and training partners will go a very, very long way. Like if you're the kind of player who has to win every round, doesn't let smaller or inexperienced players work, or even if they're more experienced and they're not trying to put a pace on you, they're trying to work things. And if you see those like situations and opportunity to go, right, I'm gonna smash fuck out of him now.
Yeah.
Like that's not being a good training partner. That's not kind of being able to read the room and read the initial interactions you're going to have during that round.
There's a time and place. Smashing. There is, definitely is, isn't there? Like we spoke about before off camera. If someone is not as good as you, but they might need it, they might need you know to be controlled and to be pinned, which is going to bring them on.
Oh, of course.
In a skillful way.
Yeah.
Go for it, do it, but don't just do 10 Kimuras over and over and over again on a weaker person.
Yeah.
It's not really going to help anyone.
No, because like you say, there's a way to, like, especially as with experienced players, there's a way to, like, kind of put more pressure on someone while still allowing them to work. Yeah. So, say if you're passing their guard, fucking, like, you're going through it like a hot knife through butter. It's like, well, maybe your training partner needs to work on their guard retention. Well, as the experienced player, you should go, do you know what? This is a fucking great opportunity here for me to work on a new element of my guard passing.
Keep passing.
Yeah, just keep passing them.
Yeah.
Pin them aside control, make them work for that guard retention. You go back to your passing again and you just keep working through there. Now, what they're going to experience is going, fucking hell, he keeps passing my guard, but I'm getting better at retaining guard. I'm learning these new things. And if you're fucking knee cutting them 5 times in a row, then you need to let them know, being like, I've just knee cut you here 5 times in a row. You're not learning from your past mistakes. Have a little word with them and then be like, okay, defend.
So you're saying the guy who's on the offense, you think they should say to them, hey mate, I've just cut your fucking guard
Yeah, after the round, like if you're landing,
Because I wouldn't say that. I'd suggest it coming from the person that's getting smashed.
oh, like obviously they should have the self awareness there to kind of ask.
Because they might get offended. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm passing someone's guard 10 times over in a 5 minute round, I wouldn't say that to them. Hey mate.
Yeah.
I would let them go. What should I work on? Or
Yeah. I think like not like I always look at it as not everyone's got that self awareness to then go, shit, this happened to me all this time, because they might even realise that you've done the exact same pass to them, especially if it's like a white or a blue belt and they're not like fully clued up. They might kind of go, it's passed my guard 10 times here. I don't know what's happening. But then they might be embarrassed or
they might not know.
and they might even sometimes be worried to ask, from fear of looking a bit stupid. So I think like one way that I'll try and approach that is I'll be like, what did you think of this pass that I was trying? Here's what I was doing. And kind of almost kind of treat it in a way that I'm showing them how I'm doing the technique. Yeah. And if like I have a round with people where it's kind of going, I know that their side control escapes are dog shit. Well, not dog shit, but like not a strong part of their game, because I think dog shit's it's a bit of a harsh word there. But like say side control escapes, not a strong part of their game, which is a very common thing amongst the whole scene.
What do you mean? All the answers on Instagram?
I mean, they are, yeah, but they've got to fucking go out and find them, haven't they, and read them, and then apply them. Or they've got to go and spend fucking £100 on the next Gordon Ryan DVD. But like, I'll present it to them in almost kind of like a way of going, here's what I'm doing, and here's how I'm getting past your guard. And if they don't follow up with questions or going, okay, how would I stop this? Then I won't give them the rest of it. But if they go, oh, well, how would I defend that? Then I'm happy to sit there and talk it through with them. But I think for your own personal growth, I think you need to get used to asking the questions that make you feel uncomfortable. So like, if you've been pinned on your back for 5 minutes from side control and you just can't figure out what went wrong and how the person was pinning you, just say to them, fucking, your pinning's amazing. Like, how can I get better at escaping it? And fucking complimenting the player's ability goes a long way, because then they're going to go, fucking hell, yeah, I am, man. And then they're going to be more likely to thingy, whereas, like, or even going, fucking hell, your pressure was awful. Can you show me how I can deal with it? Like, it's going to make you a much better grappler in the long run. But it's also going to build that relationship with that more experienced player. And they're going to be like, because I always notice it when people ask me questions after rounds, and I know that they're receptive to the feedback.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more likely to have more rounds with them. Whereas if, say, I'm rolling with somebody and they're just not being receptive on the feedback, or they're maybe not asking like questions, or they're just doing the same shit every round without an attempt to try and progress their skill set. Like when it comes to my sparring rounds, not where I'm trying to work the room and kind of like give everyone like a bit of feedback and development round, where it's like my sparring rounds, I'm more likely to go to the ones that are like asking those questions, trying to develop their game, because it's going to challenge me more as a grappler. And that's me for my own training. And if and it could be 6 month white belt, or it could be fucking 10, 15 year black belt.
A blue belt.
Or a fucking blue belt. Yeah. But like, I'm going to be more likely to approach them as a training partner, if they've got that mindset of developing the game and pushing themselves forward. And then when it comes to my kind of like coaching rounds, when I'm jumping on the mats and trying to sort of like go, okay, I'm not rolling this person for a while, I'm going to seek them out. And then I'll have development rounds with them when I'll give them feedback. But when it comes to like my training rounds, I'm going to be less likely to go to the ones who aren't receptive and pushing for that growth.
Yeah, just quite cold, and they just want to roll, and then if they don't win, they just cheers and walk off.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Some people just don't want to talk.
No. And I see it doesn't have to be for every round, because like sometimes you turn up to train and you kind of go, I just had a shit week. I just want to turn up on Saturday morning, have a tough session, get a sweat out, get the stress out, and then just forget about the week. Like, everyone's entitled to those days. Everyone's entitled to those sessions and how frequently you need them. But if you are wanting to develop and push on as a like and get better at grappling and get your promotions, you can't have those days every single day or every single week. There needs to be a little bit of variety there.
Yeah, and why would you not ask people that are better than you questions?
Yeah.
It's, that's how you are going to get better a lot quicker.
Mm.
One thing I would suggest is not asking those questions during the round.
Yes.
While you are getting your ass kicked, because it's just watering down the sport. Like if you're losing, log what's going on.
Yeah.
And just ask straight after the round.
Mm.
Don't say, oh, what are you doing there? Or, walk me through it, because you're ruining the sparring for the person. And the counter to that would be, if you're the hammer against the nail, don't talk the nail through it. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I know you might be trying to be a good training partner, but there's a time and place for that.
Yeah.
Like if your coach is putting the clock on for a 3-minute isolation round, don't talk for 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yeah. And don't sort of put up and ask, how do we get out of this halfway through the round? It's like, the rounds are there for you to develop and work on your problem solving and almost carve your own path from those situations, and then log those questions and ask them at the end of the rounds, because somebody else in the room is more than likely going to benefit from it as well. So you're asking for yourself, but you're also asking for your teammates, and you're picking the appropriate time and place for it. Not halfway through the round, like going, oh, well, I forgot how to escape. Figure it out. Ask me after the round.
Yeah.
And also, don't be that guy as well when someone's got you in a fucking submission and you're just about to tap and it's like, oh, let me show you how to put this on better.
Yeah.
We've all had them fucking rounds, and there's a lot of those kind of people out there. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, let me show you this really awesome escape from this armbar. Well, I just caught you in the armbar. You didn't use the escape, so it can't be that awesome.
Yeah. What else do you think people shouldn't do during the rounds, like the actual sparring rounds, that you'd recommend? I've got a couple, but I'll know what you think.
Unless you've got a reason for it, always start standing. That's so right. Like, for me, because I've taken wrestling out of my game at the moment, I am starting on my arse. But if the mat's like super rammed, I'm going to start on my arse, but it's not safe for your training partners. But where you can, start standing, even if your game is based around attacking from guard.
Yeah.
Learn to get your grips, close the distance, pull guard, and attack from there. Like, always start from standing. Yeah,
I think that's super important. It's such a bad habit when people starting on the bum.
Yeah. And even down to like for self-defense purpose, because at the end of the day, it's a martial art and it's a combat sport. And if you need to use it for self-defense, you are going to resort to what you're doing in the training room. Now, if someone's squaring up to you in a bar or in a restaurant or fucking whatever kind of altercation, you're not going to sit on your ass because you're going to get booted in the face. So it's like, learn to measure distance, close distance, and control the distance as well, which is a fucking vital skill you get from wrestling.
Yeah.
And also a vital skill you get from like striking sports. But if you actually want to learn to defend yourself as well, learning and starting from standing is just going to develop that confidence.
Yeah. One of my pet peeves is people just starting on the ground.
Yes.
Like every round. I just don't understand it. If you're doing 10 rounds in an open mat, why would you start in like guard? Like, why? Like in like seated guard and in your bum? Unless you're working that specific area. Are you going to spend the next 30 years on your bum? Like, why, when you can just start standing?
Yeah.
Get taken down, then play guard.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, exchange on the feet and sit to guard if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, what's the point? Like, it's so easy to sit to guard. It's kind of like a cop out.
Yeah.
For like what the sport is. I definitely agree with that. Just don't bother.
No.
Because you're practicing your standing game, aren't you?
Yeah.
And if you get taken down, great. That means they caught you with a takedown. now you can work your bottom game.
Yeah.
Do what the fuck you want.
And work the element of, okay, as soon as my arse hits the floor, I'm fighting to get on top, or I'm fighting to get to my feet.
Yeah.
Not just accepting it and playing passive from there.
Or play bottom if you want to.
Yeah, or play bottom if you want to. Yeah, like,
if you want to, don't think you have to be hard-headed.
Oh no, but I mean, like in the sense of like, say they take you down and they bypass the legs.
Yeah.
Sort of like, don't just sit there and accept the side control position. Like, get working to get to your preferred position. So whether it is like working from bottom or shit, I need to get out from here and work to get to a top position. So like, don't just accept position when you've been taken down.
And also, this ties into being a good training partner. And if someone's bigger than you and they're a higher belt, or they're just better than you, full stop, don't sit to guard because you can't wrestle them and you cannot win the takedown. You're helping them too. It's not all about you.
Yeah.
So I've had it for years. Everyone thinks I'm a wrestler. I'm not. I'm just a grappler. They sit to guard straight away, and it's like, yeah, I can't get good training now too. So I've just got to fucking pass your guard because you're sat on your ass. Like if you wanted to sit on your ass and I fucking walk off, then we can't do jiu-jitsu.
No.
We can't do submission grappling. Like it's not one-sided. So it's got to work for both.
Yeah.
If you're the, like I said, if you're the one that's not, if you're the lesser skilled person, be a good training partner and work with them.
Yeah.
If you get taken down, great. You've learned a few things of what not to do.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, the art of stealing from your training partners. So like, I learn a lot from seeing how like and feeling how different people move. So like I've pinched a load of your stand up like wrestling side of things because they're effective. They work against me, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking take that and see if it works against other people. And it's how the sport grows, but it's also how you grow as a person, because then it's your ability to see something effective in somebody else's game and then go, I'm going to apply that to my own game and then add my own little nuance to it and make it my technique. And I think that's doesn't seem to be like that common of a thing, or not commonly spoken about anyway. Because we all watch instructionals, but how often are people watching sparring footage and taking like what's working effectively in that sparring round or that competition round?
Yeah, what they're actually doing.
Yeah, and then seeing how it fits into your game, because not everything's going to fit in, but there's going to be some lessons from watching sparring that you can go, yeah, we can add this in here.
Yeah. What are the other things that you think people shouldn't do?
I think the expectation for other training partners to move out of your way when you're having one of those rounds that's moving all over the map. I think having a bit more respect for your other training partner space and their ability and their space to train in, and the respect of like controlling your movement. Like there's a video that was floating around. I think Tom the Blast shared it with. There was I think there's a woman sort of like leaning on an arm here, and there was a scrambling around behind her. Somebody got taken down, and their foot went straight through the elbow. I think like ended up fracturing their arm or something. It's like if they'd had a bit more spatial awareness and kind of going, we're on a scrambling around, and there's clearly bodies in the space that they're moving into. It's like, slow yourself down. Like you can stop the round and move into more space, because on the video there's more space behind them. And it's like, have the self-awareness and the self-control to kind of go, well, we're moving into territory now where there's a lot of bodies. We're having this kind of round. We either slow ourselves down and compact the movement a little bit, or we move to bigger space.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even if you're not running into someone's space, you're making the partners near you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then they're not rolling. And then the other partners near them are also uncomfortable. Or they hear like, and everyone's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Just use common sense. Do takedowns to the outside. If you want to wrestle, get some space.
Yeah. Anything that you think that?
Not so much in terms of sparring. In terms of expectations, maybe I've got a couple of things. One of them would be if you are a serious competitor, you should be hungry.
Yeah.
Like in all aspects, it shouldn't be the coach that's the hungry one that's checking in on you, that's asking you how things are going. The coach should ask how you're progressing and care, definitely. But if you're a serious competitor or trying to be, or your skills are trying to get better, I'd expect you to be early for class, and I'd expect you to be the last one on the mat. And when you lose, I'd expect you to be in the class on the Monday. And I think those traits will go a long way to you being a very successful competitor.
No,
if you're trying to get better skills on the mat and become a good competitor, and you're not hungry, then you probably need to have a think about why you're probably competing. If you're competing for fun, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But if you're turning up late to class and you're not warmed up and you're kind of not doing little things and competing, some wires crossed there a little bit.
So you're sort of talking more the ones that are wanting to get onto the bigger shows, not the ones that are sort of turning up to the.
No, just in general.
Yeah.
Just for everyone.
I mean, like for the hungry competitors, rather. Yeah. So the ones that are competing for fun, maybe they might not have the aspirations to maybe get onto the super fight cards. And
I would say even if you're competing for fun, I think being early and doing all that you can is what's expected of me anyway as a coach. Like, if you're not early and you're not doing the 1% things, then probably not going to be confident going on the mat when you compete, and that'll go a long way. If you're doing the wrestling session on Saturday and you're not early, then you're not professional. You're not being professional, and you might do well for a couple of years, but in terms of longevity, just not being professional and controlling things you can control.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. To be fair, it's like, cause I agree with what you're saying there. But I'm a bit more of a, like, say, for the ones that are competing for fun, like, not to the point where it's like, don't turn up early, but like a bit more lax on, like, if they're sticking around after class and doing extra drills and rounds and stuff. It's like, you're competing for yourself and like wanting to just test your skill set, and you're very aware of like where you're at,
doing,
like
just cruising.
Then
you're having fun.
By all means, enjoy it, have fun. But if you're telling me, or you're sort of telling everybody that you want to be on the Polarises, the Grapple Fests, entering the big tournaments, like, your behaviour needs to represent the expectations that you're putting on yourself as well. And like, I think displaying that behaviour and kind of showing your dedication, because it rubs off on your teammates, because if they see how dedicated you are and then your progress is aligning with how much effort you're putting in, they're going to look at that and go, okay, now he's doing this and I'm doing the opposite behaviours of this, then maybe if I switch up a few things, then I'm going to get on a better progression curve than the one that I'm on now.
Yeah. Is there any others you can think of for expectations for students?
I think for me as well is knowing how to let your partners work, which I think it goes back to what we were talking about before, but like not trying to smash piss out of everybody. So like not treating every round like it's a World Championships final, and if you're aware that your partner is trying to work on a specific thing, well, maybe try and challenge them on it, or like learn that if you, in those early exchanges of the round, that they're not maybe gripping super intense and they're playing a bit passive and trying to work and play different things. Meet their intensity and have that kind of round with them. And if you want a more intense round, ask them for it, or maybe pick a different round next, and seek out those training partners that you know will give you that kind of intense round. Or if you've got a training partner who has the spectrum of being able to do the variety of different rounds, ask them if they can give you that style of round that you're after, rather than trying to strong arm them into it. Because if, like it happened to me on the weekend at the open mat, like I say, playing a bit passive and whatnot, and
Thinking trying to get this out.
fucking really getting me. But it's like, I think it might have been a purple belt or a blue belt, and it was just fucking not matching intensity, fucking punching rear nakeds across my face, locking up the fucking rear naked when it's across my nose. And I was like, and I wasn't in the mood for that kind of round, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Paul went after the round, and he's like, oh, I wasn't doing that, I was like, mate, I'm telling you what you're doing to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, why are you being a dick for? I'm like, I'm pulling you on the way you're fucking rolling with me because I wasn't rolling in the same fucking manner. Like, if you'd have read the room and realised, well, actually, rather than maybe punching a fucking rear naked across his mouth and face,
Yeah.
fish under his neck.
Or if you are going to put it on the face, slowly.
Yeah.
Try to squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking punching across the face every time you're taking the back and not trying to work under the neck, and especially when the person you're working with isn't defending that hard.
Do you know the person or not?
That was
complete stranger.
It was just a complete stranger.
Yeah, I think that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
If you're going against a stranger and they're going crazy, you don't know what the other guy is doing, so it's not smart, is it?
Because, like, if he'd done the same thing and he was fucking around in my legs, I'd have stopped the round straight away.
Yeah.
Like, but luckily, like, when I'm at open mats, unless I know the person, I'm not going to let them get in on my legs.
Yeah. I think that's good to touch on to finish is not like understand your training partner's intensity.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's probably bringing the intensity down a lot of the times. Like if you're at a level 10, that's how you're starting the exchanges, and your partner's at a 5 out of 10. Don't be surprised.
Yeah.
When they go, all right, fuck you, I'm going to bring it up, and I'll fucking show you what I can do. Don't then complain or get all frustrated.
Yeah. Especially if your 10 is at their 6 or 7, and if you're wanting them to put it up to a 10, and then you're going to fucking spit your dummy out afterwards. Like.
Yeah. Match the intensity. And another one is when like you pass someone's guard or you get a position and they're like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, just fucking keep playing on. It's not that deep.
Or like you'll pass the guard and they just give up.
Yeah.
You can just feel it, they just give up.
Yeah.
It's like, again, be a good training partner.
Yeah.
Fight to get out of the position. If you know you're going to get submitted, fight all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And be a good training partner. I think when you're touching hands and you start a round, you should be building your intensity up.
Yeah.
You should be starting at probably 50 to 70%. And then build your intensity into the round. Don't start at fucking 100.
No.
Because your gas tank's only going to go down.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a white belt.
Yeah.
The club listening.
No, definitely. Should we round off there?
Yeah. That's right.
Good chat,
I think
mate.
you need editing.